Chapter 12, the 10x rule. Obsession isn't a disease, it's a gift. Hello, replay viewers. How are you doing? We are doing the Grant Cardone book, the 10x rule. Mindy, how are you doing today? Can't wait to see you on a train tonight. Excited. Filder, thank you so much. Let me view profile and make sure that Tracy, I'm going to remember you. Let's do that. You come in and support at a high level, so thank you so much. Guys, we're going to be doing the 10x review, 10x rule review, chapter 12. It's obsession isn't a disease, it's a gift. And we are reviewing this for the entire month. We've been doing one chapter a day. Auntie Cecil, thank you so much for joining. I'll wait till a few people come in. A few people may come in, a few people may not, right? Tracy, oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad you're enjoying this series. I did a scope earlier today, and it got a little bit political, and I have been talking to people who have contacted me all day long. It's no wonder I don't talk politics too often. All good things, all people I love, all people who care about, all people who are able to have an intelligent conversation with, right? I hope you're having a great Tuesday. I am having an absolutely amazing Tuesday. Thank you so much. Rodney, thank you so much for coming in. My tongue needs a rest. Yeah, usually on Thursdays and Fridays when I'm on the phone all day long, it gets that way. So the tongue doesn't need a rest. We just need to slow down, right? And be present and enjoy the process of having all of you amazing people in here. So guys, let's do this. Let's invite it out with our followers. Let's get some people in the room, and then let's move on to the lesson. So if there's anybody in the room who doesn't know who I am, let me do a really quick reset. My name is Ryan Roy. I am a coach, life coach, a success coach. I help people formulate their goals, break them down into small actionable steps so that they can attain their goals and have the success they desires in their life. Thank you so much, Greg Harvey. I saw you come in here, and I also think I saw Lorena come in here, so great. So let's do this. Let's do the 10x rule. Put a 1 in the box if you guys are ready for chapter 12 of the 10x rule. Obsession isn't a disease, it's a gift, right? Tracy's ready, Greg's ready, Lorena's ready, Auntie Cecile's ready, Mindy's ready, and Greg has a 1 in the box. Thank you so much. I should have done this in the other room with the better lighting, but we're here. Let's do it here. So, the dictionary defines the term obsession as the domination of one's thoughts or feelings by a persistent idea, image, or desire. See, much of the world thinks of the word obsession as a disease, like it's a bad thing to be obsessed, right? In order to dominate your sector of your business, your big goals, your dreams, your ambition, you must first dominate your every interest, thought, and consideration. Guys, this is how we become successful. An obsession is not a bad thing here. It's a requirement to get where you want to go. Sorry, when I put my notes, I talk my notes out, and sometimes the reader doesn't read it right. So I apologize for that. I didn't go over it. Most people make only enough effort for his or her efforts to feel like work, right? This is what he's talking about here. Whereas the most successful follow up on every action within their obsession to see it through to reward. What is he talking about here? So a lot of people will sit there and be like, oh my God, this is work. So let me share this with you. I'm a dad. And I've seen a lot of parents. I have some of my best friends that are this way. How many of you are parents in the room? Put a 1 in the box. How many of you are parents? Put a 1 in the box, so I know that I have an audience. And this is not being judgmental of you or anything, but I've heard a lot of parents be like, oh my God, it's so much work to raise these kids. And I see it as fun. I am obsessed with the time that I spend with my son. I can't wait for the weekends to sit down and do puzzles and do drawings and play games and go to the park and watch him explore when he's playing with other kids and watch him learn. I'm like obsessed by it. And it's not work. It's like when he asks 1,000 questions. How many of you remember 5-year-olds, right? Daddy, why does this happen? Why does this happen? Why does that happen? Why does this go? Why is the sky blue? Why is the ground brown? It's like, why? I asked him the other day. I said to him, I said, Christian, why do you ask so many questions? You know what his response was? Guys, you'll love this. He goes, because I want to know. And I always answer his questions so he doesn't stop asking, right? Living Purposely, thank you so much for joining. So you must become obsessed so it doesn't seem like work, because I want to know, he said. And I was like, what a great response. So simple, right? We complicate things. Why did I ask? Well, I don't know why I asked, because I want to know. And it's such a simple answer to a simple question, right? When you become obsessed with your idea or purpose or goal, you'll become equally addicted to the idea of making it work. Right? How many of you are on here on Periscope? How many of you are like, oh my God, I know there's somebody in here, Greg Harvey, who's addicted to this Periscope thing. I'm addicted or obsessed with this Periscope thing. I must get on almost every single day. Why? Because it's addicted. It's obsessive. But you know what? That's why it's working for me in my business. It comes through in my energy. It comes through in Greg's energy. It comes through in all of your energy. As you guys tap on the screen, more and more energy comes out of me. You got to become obsessed. Becoming obsessed with something, and I've had people, and he'll talk about this here in a second. People will be like, man, how do you get on there 3 times a day and talk? How do you figure out, no problem, Lorena, thank you so much for coming back. Thanks for plugging in or getting another device and coming back in, because it would have been a perfect reason not to. So thank you for coming back. And then he says, how do you stay obsessed? Have you always had this drive? I've always had this type of drive no matter where I go, no matter what I do. I may change careers or do different things, but when I get in, I'm like obsessed with it. And I've had people, hey, Laura, I saw you come in. I've had people say, man, how do you have that much energy towards that? I'm like, it's exciting. It's exciting to live and find something new and grow through something new. So guys, if you get obsessed by something, don't let somebody tell you that, hey, man, that's way too much energy into that. If you put focused energy into something for 2 years and do it on a consistent basis, meaning daily, you're going to have freaking success, people. But too many people want to drop the ball and go do something else. Too many people want to go, oh my God, listen to the naysayers. Can I tell you something, guys? Can I tell you this, guys? Thanks for juicing, listening, and tapping. I don't know how you're doing it, but I wish I had a scope about you listening, tapping, and juicing all at the same time, because that would be awesome. When I became a coach, and I knew my friends, family, and all other sorts of people in my life would be like, why are you doing that? You're not going to make money in that. You're not doing it. I didn't tell anybody for 2 years. My wife knew. I had clients, but my friends on social media, my friends in my close circles, I didn't post it on Facebook. I didn't do any of that stuff. And people would say, that's crazy to not post your business. But guess what? Thank you. I appreciate that, Laura. But when I told my friends that I was a coach, and I was accountability coach, and like, what's that? Or a life coach, and like, what's that? Who needs a life coach? And I said, all my clients need it, and my bank accounts prove it. And they were like, oh, you get paid for that? You're doing that? And when I left my job, they were like, you can make enough money doing that, leaving your job? And I was like, and this is exactly why I didn't tell these people these things. I was obsessed with it. I sat there and started getting clients. I got paid clients. I made enough money to leave my job. And people were like, I don't understand. That's right. And if those same people I had shared that with before I started, they would have been my naysayers. They would have been the people who all my clients needed. That's right. And guess what? People would have sat there and killed my dreams, right? And I would have put self-doubt into me. So I didn't share those things with people because those people aren't obsessed. Those people don't want to help people the way I do. Those people would tell me things that I don't need to nor want to hear. So why share it with those people? Because there's too many of those people in the world who will not empower you. So Grant says that he wasn't always obsessed, but he came across the Israel president, right? Dream killers, right? The Israel president, his name is Shimon Peres, was 87-year-old at the time he had done 900 interviews in an 18-month span. His obsession with his mission makes him seem youthful and energetic despite his age. When you're obsessed, many people claim that work is better than vacation. Guys, how many of you have been obsessed with something and people are like, man, that seems like a lot of work. And I'm like, but I love my job. I love my job. I love what I do. I love coaching people. So it's not a J-O-B. It is my obsession. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting on Scope and listening to you, right? Perez, 900 interviews, youthful. So countless truly successful people agree with the sentiment that their careers do not feel like work, but rather something they love to do. That is obsession at its best. Children are a great example of obsession. And many of you are parents, right? And many of you are not. But we have all been children, and we all remember this. They're obsessed with whatever it is, whether it's a pacifier, a toy, food, getting daddy, mommy's attention, to get changed. They're obsessed with it. They'll cry. They'll do whatever they need to do. I'll tell you, my son and I were leaving soccer practice the other night, and he wanted to go play at the park. That's at the park, right? He wanted to go on the slides and do all this stuff. Needed to get him home because it was a school night, and he still needed to eat dinner and go take a bath. Here's the thing. Daddy, can we go to the park? No, we can't do the park tonight, Christian. Daddy, can we just 5 minutes, Daddy? Christian, you know what? We got to get home. We got things to do. You just had an hour-long soccer practice. You had a lot of energy. Daddy, please, please, please. I want just 5 minutes. Christian, we'll do it next week because you're out of school next week. Daddy, can we just walk by the park? Can I just see it? And we're walking by it, but he wants to walk to it. And Daddy, can I just touch the slide? Christian, you get your 5 minutes. Go take 5 minutes. He negotiated until he got what he wanted. He only got 5 minutes, but he got what he wanted. Seriously, that's how it is. But here's the thing. How can I, if I don't allow him to negotiate, and if I just squash his dreams, he's going to stop asking for things he wants. And there's books out there that say just ask people, but he was obsessed with the idea of going to the park. Every kid is persistent, Lorena. What kills the persistence or the consistency or the obsession is parents telling them no, parents yelling at them, parents telling them to stop asking. Parents telling them for teachers to tell them to stop asking, for people crushing their dreams. Stop crushing our kids' dreams, empower them. So after 5 times or 6 times or whatever many times, I gave in and I was like, dude, go do it. You get 5 minutes. And he was happy with his 5 minutes. You're killing me, Laura. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the 10X rule and being persistent, and your obsession isn't a disease, it's a gift. See, these are things I just do. And I know, I don't think of them when I'm writing the book. I don't think about these things when I'm writing the book. For those of you who don't know what Laura is talking about, there's a book, I Be the Dad You Wish You Had. And it'll have concepts like this in there. But I don't think of these concepts when I'm doing it. It's just what I do. How you doing, Raise a Light? I appreciate you coming in, Terry. So, let me see where I'm at. So Grant, you threw me off, Laura. You threw me off. You have an idea. Laura has an idea. Laura, let me get through this and then we'll touch base on the idea because we needed to connect anyway. No problem. We'll do it. Laura is persistent. Later. Okay, call me later. I'm free the rest of the afternoon. I'll pick up if you call. I love her. She's consistent and persistent. She wants me to get that book out. So why is obsession considered a negative thing? So when those successful people, right? Guys, name some people who have been obsessed in your mind. Picture them in your mind and type it out. Who are some of the obsessed individuals? And I'll tell you the obsessed individuals that came to my mind. Walt Disney, obsessed with creating animated characters. Steve Jobs, obsessed with, creating the best computer ever known to man, and I'm talking into one of them right now. Tony Robbins obsessed. So Lorena, I'll share a quick Tony Robbins story. Somebody asked Tony Robbins how long it would take for them to get to his level. He goes, listen, I used to do 8 speaking engagements every single day for years. He goes, so if you do 8 a year, it's going to take you a little while to get to my level. But I did 8. He was obsessed. Hans Freller, welcome to the room. So other people that come to my mind, people may not like him. He's in the media right now. He just did a debate. Donald Trump, obsessed with telling you how amazing his products are. But guess what? People buy his products. Why? Because he keeps telling them how amazing and that they're the best and the biggest and the brightest ideas. Tesla, Jordan, Kobe, Da Vinci, all these people are obsessed. So listen what he says about this. When those same people finally reach success, because Kobe or Jordan or Steve Jobs, they weren't always who they are. They're no longer labeled as crazy, but they're labeled as geniuses, exceptions to the rule, and extraordinary, because they broke through that ceiling and became who they wanted to be because they're obsessed. And now nobody says, hey, you guys are crazy for doing what you did, because they made it, people. But guess what? You got to go through that journey in order to make it. But too many people are listening to the naysayers of, yep, Copernicus. I always mess that name up. They took, yes, their actions prove it, but their consistent actions over time prove it, because they were what? They were obsessed. Obsession is not a disease, people. It's a gift. What if the world admired, expected, and even demanded that we all operate every single day with the obsessive focus on our goals? See, this is what I do for a living, guys. I have you focus on your goals every single day, but first we got to understand what your goals are. Then we break them down, we reverse engineer them, and then we pay attention to them every day. If you guys take steps every single day towards your goals, guess what? You're eventually going to reach them. And you're going to veer to the left and right. But the idea is not to veer way to the left and way to the right. And I did that backwards just so you guys get it that way. I hope it came out that way. But you want to do it so that you have the successes that you want. But you need to do them in small incremental steps. And do them faster if you want. What if the world encouraged obsessive instead of judging it? As my friends I know would have. Write down the names. So here it is. You could do this. That looked like tiger claw movements. Yeah, right. At least it wasn't this. Right? Hans did an awesome mime dance the other day. If anybody wants to go back and watch his last scope, or at least the last one I saw. You like that? So here's the end of the chapter. And obsession isn't a disease. It's a gift. So what do you think you need to be obsessive about again in your life? You guys don't have to write this out, but put it in your mind, and I suggest you write it on a piece of paper. What do you need to be obsessive about right now in your life again so that you could get to where you want to be? Why is it better to be obsessed than not to be obsessed? Because obsessed people get to where they want to go. It may seem crazy to a lot of people. Why do you stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning, Ryan, responding to emails or creating new content? Why do you sit there and spend an hour on the phone with your clients instead of a half hour? Because I want to see them get to their goals, and if that extra time helps them, I want to be there. Why do you sit there and scope 2-3 times a day? Why? Because I connect with a lot more people. Why do you do all of those crazy things? Why do you spend ungodly amounts of hours with your son in the evenings and on the weekends? Because I'm obsessed about being a great father. Why do you do those things? What goal would cause you to become obsessed? And you know what I wrote here, and Laura would appreciate this if she was still in the room, but she left me. And this is the thought that came to my mind when he wrote this question, is helping dads become better fathers. I'm seeing too many dads out there not engaged because they're scared of failure. Did you guys know that hey Michael, how you doing? Most fathers are scared of failing their children, therefore they don't engage. So some of you out there may be going, wow, Hans made I didn't want to have children because I didn't have a father. I didn't want to have children. Do you like your picture? Dude, I don't know what your picture is. Right? I didn't want to have children because I didn't have an example to go from. Now that I'm a dad, I want to be the best damn dad I possibly can be. I've read books. I do through action. I've actually talked to fathers. I've actually talked to fathers and been like, that I've seen them do amazing things with their kids. And I'm like, hey, why do you do that? And they're like, oh, my dad did it, or this or that. And I'm like, listen, I can't learn through my father because he was non-existent. But I can watch what amazing dads are doing in their kids' lives and mimic that to the best of my ability. So ask. And I'm seeing too many dads disengaged simply out of fear. Simply out of fear. And they have a fear that they'll be judged, so they don't ask. I'm over that fear. I don't risk being judged. If I risk being judged, I wouldn't hit the broadcast button, guys. I'm obsessed with being a great father. Therefore, I ask. I don't care what people think. And if people are like, oh, you don't know that? I didn't grow up with a dad, so I'm asking you because obviously you did. And then they're like, oh, wow. I want to know. I'm obsessed about that. So obsession isn't a disease. It's an absolute gift, guys. So if you want to be obsessed with something, whatever it is, be obsessed with it. But don't listen to the naysayers and go out and put 10x efforts so that you can get the results you desire. So having said that, I want to thank all of you for your time today. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Roy. Sorry, I got itch. My name is Ryan Roy. I am an accountability, success, and life coach. I help people formulate their goals, break them down, and hold them accountable.